We are what? We are who? We are what? Vibrant. We are who? 50 plus. Hi, welcome to Gray Lives on the Rise. I am your host, Professor Jamila Franklin, and we are coming to you from Oriental Enterprises, being sponsored by Jamila Sense, which is our product line of aromatherapy products that helps heal the mind, body, and soul. And we are bringing to you Alamaj's Rebirthing Program, as well as Jamila Sense, and a host of wonderful programs that will help heal your body, heal your soul, and heal your mind. 50 plus people, we are here to stay. Gray Lives on the Rise. We are what? We are who? We are vibrant, and we are here to stay. Join us for our wonderful episodes. Thank you, and continue to look for our episodes weekly, being brought to you again from Oriental Enterprises and Jamila Sense. See you soon. Welcome again to Great Lives on the Rise. I am the host, Professor Jamila Franklin, and as you can see on my shirt, Great Lives on the Rise. We are a global platform, and we address issues that deal with people who are 50 years young and older. And the reason why I came up with this concept is because people who are 50 years and older are basically ignored in the West. And I came up with it really, well, Spirit gave me the download. And I was walking one day, and this download came into my consciousness. And it basically said, there's nothing out there that deals with your demographic. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. And so it said that you need to have something that deals with people 50 plus, have a store, have a name for it, and then have a podcast. So then I was thinking, I said, okay, and we need to relanguage how we refer to ourselves, because we're not elderly, we're not over the hill, we're not senile, we are vibrant, we are alive, we are mature, and we're golden. And then the next thing was, okay, you need to come up with a name. And I thought about Great Lives Matter. I said, nah, that's overused. And then Gray Lives on the Rise came into my consciousness. And I said, oh, okay, I like that, because lives rhymes with rise, and we're on the upswing. We're not going down. So that resonated with me. And then the download was saying, okay, you need to have a store. You need to have something that people can relate to. So we have our own store, and we have, like I said, T-shirts, we have hoodies, we have mugs, we have totes, we have floor mats, you name it, we have it. So hop on over to our store. And then the last thing was the podcast. And am I talking to people around the world, because it's global, it's multiracial, men and women, multi-ethnic, multi-religious. Everyone had the same concern. People 50 plus were not being honored as they should. So I've had people on from South Africa, Canada, Australia, the Netherlands, New Zealand, the UK, the Philippines, the UAE, Costa Rica, Haiti, and of course, America. And all have said the same thing. So the podcast is designed for those whose issues are different than people in their 20s, 30s, and 40s. We don't have the same concerns. And so it is doing extremely well. And I'm so happy today to have Rita Nimmons as my guest. And I'm bringing her on in a few. And just a little bit of information about me. I'm a certified aromatherapist, a certified Reiki master, a certified metaphysician, a college professor of psychology. I have my own clinical practice, and I've had my mental health practice for over 30 years. And I am now specializing in healing ancestral trauma. And most people have it. Okay, so, and also I am an accomplished published author. But enough about me. I just want to also talk about my company, Jamila Sense, that is sponsoring this because you know we have to pay the bills, right? So Jamila Sense is the one, my company that's sponsoring it, and it's my aromatherapy company. And Peace Be Still is my #1 blend for stress. You see this? For stress, depression, sinus congestion, sinus headaches, migraine headaches, PTSD, any stressor. And you know now in this, and on the planet, we're having a lot of stressors, okay? But it's dealing with all that. So you just put it in your hands, rub your hands together. All of my products are made by me, and they are natural, no fillers, no additives, none of that. And you do not take them by mouth. They're all topical. So you put it in your hands and just, oh my goodness, you breathe it. It's also good for postmenopausal, hot flashes, all of that. It gets rid of all of that. So you put it in your hands, you breathe in, you put it around your neck, put it around on your arms, and flies and mosquitoes will not come near you because they don't like the way it smells. It's just so aromatic. So, and go to my website to find out more about our services and about Great Lives on the Rise. It's oyendeenterprises.com. And that's OYINDE enterprises.com. oyendeenterprises.com. Once on the website, go all the way and you will see Great Lives on the Rise, which is my latest baby. Click on that and it gives you all of the information about Great Lives on the Rise. And if you're interested in being a speaker, guest speaker, fill out the form and we can chat. So now having said that, I've done the infomercial part. So now we're going to bring on the wonderful Rita Nimmons. Okay. And you're going to be very impressed with this beautiful soul. Okay, Rita Edwina Nimmons, a native of Pageland, South Carolina. She attended Knoxville College from 1971 to 1974. She graduated with a BS degree in business administration from Southern Illinois University in Edwardsville, Illinois in 1978. She later attended Edgewood College in Atlanta, Georgia, where she studied Oriental Medicine and Acupuncture from 2004 to 2008. In 1992, she chose a lifestyle as a vegetarian, vegan, plant-based, whole food after experiencing several health challenges. She is also a yoga instructor, certified colon hydrotherapist, acupuncture detox specialist, and avid walker, Chicago stepper, and a line dancer. She has worked 35 years with the Department of Health and Human Services, Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services as a health insurance specialist. Currently, she is a very happy retired federal employee and living a wonderful life. Yay, Rita. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Everything that you've done, beloved, I either have done, interested in it, impressed by it. So we're going to have a good conversation here, okay?
Great. And I want to show you, I have my green light on the rise.
We're 20.
Yes.
We're 20. Wonderful. Okay, beloved, that is so amazing. You're colon hydrotherapist, yoga instructor, like our dear beloved sister friend Pearl Gordon, who introduced us, and plant-based, like moi, vegan, and wow. Okay, let's go all the way back. We're going to do a time travel. And I want to know about Little Rita. I've never heard of Pageland, South Carolina. Wow, you learn something new every day. Where is Pageland? Where is it?
Pageland is it's right on the North Carolina, South Carolina borderline, close to Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay,
And then sort of in the middle, not that far, maybe 60 miles from Columbia, South Carolina.
okay,
So,
okay.
so yeah, so it's a little country town. Still is a little country town, although I see some progress going on. But um, my mother and father moved there because my mother got a job as a teacher. She went to South Carolina State,
Mm,
and um, and she taught there until she retired. And I got a chance to, live that country life. We had our own garden and we raised some animals. Um, and initially, we lived in like a three-room house until my mother bought some land. And then we moved into a bigger house, and then we still have that house today.
mm.
So I'm a country girl by nature.
Wow, wow.
Hmm.
So, so you grew up, you grew up in Pageland, correct?
Yes.
Hmm. So, what inspired you to leave Pageland, and where did you go? Did you come to Atlanta, or did you go to another place in
I
South?
initially went to Knoxville College. That was my first time living on my own, and had a great experience at Knoxville College. It was a historically black college. Right now, they're struggling. The
Mm,
school was closed, and we are still having homecomings, and we're trying to get the school back open again. So, um, but I left there, and then I moved to St. Louis,
mm,
and eventually went to Southern Illinois University because they were the only college that was on the quarter system, and they took all my credits. I really
oh,
wanted to go to Washington U, but they wouldn't take all my credits, so I
mm-hmm,
went across the Mississippi River and went there for like 2 years because I changed my major, so
mm-hmm,
I had to take an extra year. But that was a very growing experience as well.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
But
Mm-hmm,
but I but like I said, I was a country girl and lived off the land. We lived off the land. And South Carolina during that time was a very segregated uh town. And
mm,
so um we had our school that was a black school, and then the white folks had their school. And I think in the eighth grade I switched, and I was like the second group of people that attended predominantly white school. And it
mm-hmm,
was tough, but um I lasted until I graduated. But we
mm,
had to go to when we went to the doctors when we were sick, we either went to the midwife or we went to a regular doctor. And if we went to a regular doctor, we had our appointment might be at 11 o'clock, but they would see us last. And of course, there was the white waiting room and the black waiting room. So it was a very segregated city.
wow,
And that had a lot of impact on me.
mm-hmm,
But as a young girl, maybe like 11 or 12, I joined the NAACP, and that was when we were kind of doing our protests and trying to segregate the city. Got thrown out of the washerettes, but but
mm,
my mother was very popular, and the white folks liked her, and she was very much into the community. As a matter of fact, there were a lot of ladies in her church, and in the church that I attended that really we were really a close community, and it was
Mm.
called Petersburg. And it's a big long story about Petersburg, but everybody looked after each other, and we
Yeah,
would exchange foods and
yeah.
stuff like that. And the midwife that we had, I remember her so much. She lived to about 102, 103. But I
Uh-huh.
remember when I got chicken pox, and my mother took me to her, and she gave me a series of enemas.
Mm.
And in about 3 days, I was back out playing. So
Wow.
that kind of I kind of wondered what happened. What was it? And then we had one dentist that would come to our school, and he would check our teeth and all of that. And he was probably one of the few black dentists at that time. So a lot of people touched my life, like the people that had gardens. The lady next door had always had a beautiful garden. So my parents let me have a garden. It was
Mm.
about 6 rows, and it was short rows, and they allowed me to plant certain foods, and we would eat out of the garden. And then when my father slaughtered the animals, we would eat that and freeze that and that's what we ate
Mm-hmm.
mostly. Something that we raised, either it was an animal or food. That's how we ate our food. And nowadays this nobody's hardly growing gardens anymore, but that had an impact on where I am today, I think, I feel.
Wow. Well, you had a very supportive, nurturing
Yes,
childhood, which is really, really important because mine was different. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, originally, and the neighborhood raised the children. If Miss Jones saw you down the street misbehaving, she had the permission to spank you.
that's right.
And then she would tell your parents, in my case, my mom, and then it
You
was
gotta
on again. You get
mm-hmm.
another one. Because the
Mm-hmm.
community, the village raised the children. Now you have people, uh, don't touch my child. And I understand it because we're in a different space and time and people
Yes.
are really hurting children. So even their family members are
Mm-hmm.
hurting them. But those were the days when
Yeah.
when people really looked out for each other.
Yeah.
And if someone was ill or needed food or something, the community rallied around that person to give that person support. So, having been raised on a farm and all that, and then you went to Knoxville at college, and then you went to St. Louis,
SIU.
Illinois. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, St. Louis, Missouri, rather. And so, how did you transition from the mindset of to become a yoga teacher and a a colonic specialist?
Mm-hmm.
How did you get into that? I see part of it in terms of colonic specialists because you had three enemas and they were life changing.
Yes.
But what led you to the path of being basically plant based and holistic?
Well, I got sick when I was in college at 19. Um, I had to go to the hospital, and they said I had a fibroid tumor. Um, Well, it wasn't a fibroid. It was another kind of tumor, and I have since found out that it was actually an undeveloped fetus.
Mm,
And so they had to remove that undeveloped fetus, which, by the way, when I asked the doctor what it was, he said it was a mass full of hair and bones. And
mm,
and I was like, well, that's not a fibroid tumor. Now, I didn't say that at the time, but I was like, what? How did, I have since found out through my reading with Dr. Africa's book that it was an undeveloped fetus. And I've researched currently and I've seen some of those. It was called a dermal cyst. That's what it was called.
Mm,
And I think it had teeth too. And I've seen some when I
mm-hmm,
researched dermal cysts. And my mother she didn't know what it was. I came on my menses at 15 and then at 17, up until age 17 or 18, I didn't have a menses. And of course, she thought I was pregnant, but that wasn't it. Doctors gave me something, and then I started my menses again. But um, when I did go to college, they put me in the hospital. I had uh, the dermal cyst, and then uh, when I recovered and everything, I still wasn't. I was still kind of eating what all of the teenagers and my fellow college mates were eating: chicken, uh, you know, pork, um,
mm,
beef. I was eating all of those kinds of things. So I didn't connect it to my diet. I knew that I had dairy products was not good for me, but I still ate it anyway. And I had really bad skin. I mean, like craters.
mm.
And
So
I
you
mean,
had
it
acne.
was awful. And
Mm,
even after I left Knoxville College, I went to SIU. I was still eating it, and I was still having those problems. Then I started developing uh, painful menses, just
mm.
painful. And
Due to endometriosis, probably.
yeah, well, the doctor put me on birth control pills.
Yeah, that's what they would do. Hmm.
And then something in my spirit said, don't take these pills. And then
Mm,
my spirit said, stop eating pork. So I stopped eating pork and I stopped eating beef, and I would just eat chicken and fish and turkey. I still had bad skin. I mean, it was just terrible. I mean,
mm,
and I would have this excruciating pain every month. I mean, I would be out. And
mm.
so I stopped the birth control pill, and then my face really got bad.
Really?
Oh yeah, they said I was going through what is puberty after you
Mm,
get off the pills. That's what they said back then.
mm,
Okay. So,
mm,
but I didn't get back on them, but I still had those outbreaks all the time. So when I decided to move to Atlanta, which was, I think, the best thing that ever happened to me, um, and I left an abusive relationship as well. Um, I started over, and um, I met Pearl, and we were both having these painful experiences with our menses. So
mm,
Pearl introduced me to Dr. Africa's book, African Holistic Health. And I was at her house and I'm reading it and everything. And I'm just looking, and it's like, he talked about the dermal cyst. And I
mm,
said, oh my God, and I had worked in a hospital, okay? And I had been seeing all of this, but no doctors could help me except they wanted to take my ovaries.
mm-hmm.
And I didn't want to do that because I had
Right.
lost one. Because when
Mm,
they took the dermal cyst, they took the ovary with it. So I only
mm,
had one left.
mm-hmm.
So they wanted to take the other one. And I was like, no, that just didn't seem right to me.
Mm.
So
That would have thrown you into early menopause too.
yeah, yeah. And so when I met Pearl, she was telling me she had a similar situation. And she when she gave me the book and I read it, and she told me about this colon therapist. Her name was Florence Branch. I think you know
Yeah,
her.
yeah.
And I picked up the flyer and I went straight to the phone and I called her. And Pearl and I made that appointment. And of course, we thought we were cute. We were young and shapely, and we thought we were cute. And we walked in her office, and she looked at us and said, "Yeah, y'all need cleansing. Y'all need cleansing." She said, "I can look at your face. I can look at your eyes. I can look at your 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 um your whole body, and I
Mm,
can tell that you need to be cleansed." And so Pearl and I started that 12-week cleansing program, and I saw parasites about this long
wow.
coming out of me and little babies. And what I didn't know at the time was that when they took that ovary and that fibroid, that dermal cyst out, they
Mhm.
also took my appendix.
Oh my goodness.
And the appendix is what kills, parasites.
And they didn't tell you?
No, they didn't tell me. I guess I didn't ask the right questions, you know.
Wow.
So, when you sign that paper, and I was 19 years old, um, they just, I didn't read it. I really didn't read it. I just signed it because I was in pain.
Yeah.
And I was at the University of Tennessee Hospital, and they were experimenting. You
Mm,
know, it was a doctor's, it was a medical doctor's
yeah, training
university.
facility.
Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
So getting back to Florence, Florence put us on a diet. And first she asked us what we ate for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And
Hmm.
then she gave us a diet, and we could only eat uh, meat one day and fish another day. And um, Pearl and I started reading labels, and because this is what she taught us, and she gave us these two books, Colon Health, and then Tissue Cleansing through Bowel Management, and she had us to read it. And as I was reading it, I sit up in the bed and I was like, oh my goodness, my colon is all messed up. And so at the time she was charging like $50. I didn't know where I was going to get $50 from, but somehow or another,
That
I
was
got
only
the
40 years
$50.
ago. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Uh-huh.
that's
And
comparable to $100 now.
that's right. And then I had a dream, and both of my grandparents, whom I have never met, came
Wow.
to me and said, don't let them take your ovaries. Don't let them take it.
Wow.
Do what you have to do, but don't let them take it. And so I was crying that night because I didn't know what to do. I had my menses was so heavy, so um I went to a health food store, and this older lady came up to me and she said, "What's wrong, baby?" I said, "They want to take my ovaries, and I don't want to take them. I want to have a baby." You know? And she said, "If they take your ovaries, your body's not going to be the same. So you think about that." So I took those two incidences as a warning.
Hmm.
And when Florence came along, I was like, this is what I'm gonna do. And
Hmm.
I had no idea I was gonna change my diet at all. But when I saw those parasites, I said, I'm not eating no meat. And I eat no turkey, no chicken, not even fish.
Mm,
Okay. And that was a decision that I made up my mind, and I just stopped it all of a sudden.
mm.
And then I met Dr. Paul Goss,
Oh yeah.
and he had the herbs, and I started taking his herbs and doing what he told me to do. I met him. I went out to his resort in Arizona, and I read his books. I got to know him. I asked him a lot of questions. Pearl and I was doing this. We were like on a roll, and we started African dance.
Mm,
And that I believe saved me too. So um after that 12 weeks, I had lost 45 pounds.
wow.
It's 45 pounds. My family thought I was on drugs. And they were like, I don't understand why you can't eat like us. This is what we were brought up and this is what we ate, what mother gave us, and that was good enough for them, and it was good enough for me. But my
Yeah.
family had diabetes, heart
Mm-hmm.
trouble,
Mm-hmm.
um, uh, all kinds high blood pressure. You
Mm-hmm.
know, that's what they had.
Yeah.
Everybody in my family eventually got that. My mother had low blood. Um, but she was always kind of weak, like. And my father died of kidney failure from diabetes. Now my
Mm-hmm.
sister is diabetic, and I have a younger brother that's diabetic, and my
Wow.
oldest brother said he's pre-diabetic. So I really didn't listen to them. I
Yeah.
went back to my childhood, and I thought about the um the the enemas that I got and how
Mm,
well I felt afterwards. I had all that energy and stuff. And when I started the 12-week colonic that Florence did, um, I saw my skin clear up and my eyesight got better because I was wearing glasses at 30 something.
mm.
Um, I stopped having dandruff. Um, I wasn't having yeast infections. I mean, everything just changed. And I knew then I wasn't going back.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I have just gone on a reading thing. I mean, I got a lot of books. I have a lot of books. I just started reading because my mother was that type of person that she had us to read.
Mm-hmm.
She was a reader. And so I think I just kind of got that from her. So I just
Mm-hmm.
read and read and read and read and read. And I started learning how to uh, how to look at my body in a different way.
Mm-hmm.
And I started shedding all this waste. I had back problems. And I went to Dr. Malcolm Johnson
Yeah.
and got acupuncture for him. And it took about a year and a half. It was sciatica. And I hear a lot of people talking about they have sciatica. So
Mm-hmm.
I worked with him, and one day I woke up and I didn't have it anymore. And
Mm-hmm.
so that got me interested in acupuncture. So I started reading The Web That Has No Weaver or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he sent me to New York to learn how to do auricular acupuncture, like reading the ear.
Mm-hmm.
And they use the 5 point uh, method for people who had addiction problems. So I
Yeah.
did that for 2 weeks, and I met a lot of people. I met a guy that did Reiki on me, and was my first time getting Reiki. And uh, once I learned those 5 points, I decided I was going to go to acupuncture and Oriental Medicine School.
Mm.
And I worked with Dr. Malcolm. I went with him to Cuba for about 5 times, and I was in the
Wow.
operating room with him, with when they delivered babies. They did some cataract surgeries, and they mended some broken bones and stuff. And they didn't use a lot of medication. They used acupuncture. I saw
Mm.
them, yeah. And then the person went home. Maybe some went home that day, and some stayed there for 2 days, but they didn't stay in the hospital long. And the people were so nice, and they cooked the food from the earth, and I mean, it was such a wonderful experience being there. And so I started working with Dr. Malcolm
Mm.
and until his death. May he rest in peace. And that's kind of what how I all started it, you know. And now I see Dr. Mark Armstrong. I think you know him too, and
Mm-hmm.
he's wonderful. Now he is more energy medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Malcolm was more. He was a electrical engineer, so he looked at it from that perspective. But
Mm-hmm.
since I've been working with Dr. Mark, the energy medicine, I mean, that is so fascinating to me. And I do a lot of that too. So
Mm.
that's
That's what
what
I
that's
got.
how I
Yeah.
kind of got. It's more in between all of that, but I didn't want to take up all the time.
No, no, no. This is our time for people to get to know more about your wonderful
Hmm.
services, how you segue from the traditional. So what were you doing before you got into a holistic health? Man, what was uh your job?
Occupation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I worked in a hospital, Southwest Hospital, when it was open. Um, for about 5 years. And I was in at first I was in the cardiopulmonary area, then I was in physical therapy, then I had both. I was the secretary. I did both. And that's where I learned how to use the computer. And then
Mm,
I went to administration, and then I went to public relations. And we had runs, you know, the people that do the running, and we did that a lot, and I got interested in that too. But then when I got the government job, that was with the Health and Human Services, and I watched a lot of people die that
mm,
was working there, and um, I they look healthy, but and these were nurses and doctors, and
wow.
and I saw them get ill and leave. And so I said, I'm going another way. And they said, well, have you talked to your doctor about this? And I was like, yeah, but they said I'm either gonna have to have surgery, or I'm gonna have to be on medication all my life. And those are the two things that I just do not want. So um, they
So,
called me names and said I was radical and I was eating rabbit food, and oh, they
yeah.
worked me,
Oh, yeah.
but I didn't stop. So I'm glad I didn't. And plus, with having a partner that to go on this journey with, Pearl was good.
Mm,
When she didn't want to do it, I would encourage her, and when I didn't want to do it, she would encourage me, and we became really close friends,
mm-hmm,
and we still are. And
mm,
we still say to each other, we are so glad we started this journey,
yeah.
because today I can say at 72 years old that I'm not on any kind of medication.
Mm,
Um, my knees don't hurt. My
Yeah,
back might bother me, but I know what to do, with it. I use my knowledge and work on myself. And I'm glad I did it. And I feel good at this time in my life, especially now when I'm retired and I can still walk. I don't, like I said, I'm not on any medication. I do go to Dr. Mark once a month, and we talk about my emotional state because I had to deal with that too.
hmm,
And the my relationships, I had to deal with that too, and I came out stronger.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Hmm.
you have been around some amazing people,
Yes.
practitioners. I know of all of them.
Yes.
They are stellar. Yeah,
Yes.
stellar.
Yeah. So, yeah, and
Yeah,
I'm so grateful for that, and I give thanks every day for meeting the kind of people that help me heal.
yeah,
You know, most of them are gone, but just being around them made me wiser about my health choices.
mhm. And you were receptive. That's a key thing because a lot of a lot of people go to go to classes, schools, and whatever. They have a lot of knowledge, but they don't apply it,
Hmm.
or they apply it for a short period of time. And for you, it wasn't about a diet; it's a lifestyle, which is
Yes.
very, very different because some people do not desire to change. I know of some people in the past that have come to me for for some support. And they would do it for a week or 2 weeks and go right back. And two of the people I know who had severe uh, stage 4 uh, of cancer, I don't like to call that
Hmm.
word, but they're no longer here
Hmm.
because they didn't stick to it. And then it's also a mind shift. And you have to you have to be willing to do the total overhaul.
Right.
And they weren't willing to do that. So like I said, they are now um, ancestors, and
Mm.
they could have lived a lot longer, but they were not committed to the long overhaul. Yeah. So did you practice? I know you practiced with Dr. Malcolm, but did you practice on your own? Did you have clientele on your own?
I did, but I had to restrict myself from working on people because I'm not licensed in this state, but
Yeah.
I could do the auricular acupuncture. And
Mm-hmm.
I've got some certification in just diagnosing thing I don't like to say disease, but that's what
Mm-hmm.
most people know. But I can look at the ear and I can tell what areas in your body are out of balance. That's what I say, out of balance.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I have done that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I mostly work with people with addictions,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm a member of the National Association of the National Acupuncture Detoxification Association, NADA.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a member of that. And I got that at the Lincoln Rehab Center in New York City, and I had a chance to meet Dr. Michael Smith, who used the auricular acupuncture to help people overcome addictions. And I saw it working. I saw a lot of people give up crack cocaine, heroin, cigarette smoking, um, just and it was also used for relaxation because
Mm-hmm.
those points is a kidney point, liver point, lung point. They call it sympathetic nerve and shin min, which is called the spirit gate. Those
Mm-hmm.
5 points um, is what we use on both ears. And
Mm-hmm.
I had an opportunity. Remember when 9/11 happened?
Mm-hmm.
And I worked on some of those firemen that that had that trauma with
Yeah.
dealing with that tragic situation.
Yeah.
And um I saw people. I also worked with people that had AIDS because Dr. Malcolm, that's what he did. And he would take me along with him, and I would go along with him and help him with his lectures. And I remember one time we went to Tuskegee,
Mm.
and there was a doctor there that he was a veterinarian, and he used acupuncture.
Mm.
And he had so many clients. I mean, you had to wait months to see him, if you had an animal that needed help. And he had the same story that I had, where people thought he was crazy, you know.
Mm.
but but it taught me a lot about patience.
Yeah.
Patience and gratitude. That's one of the big things that I learned about in this journey that I'm on. And I'm still learning. I'm always learning something new, something
Mm-hmm.
I don't know or something I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, and I love it. I love learning uh new things. I love doing the research. I love educating people,
Mm-hmm.
but I have to be careful because Dr. Gosh used to say, um, you know, just wait until someone asks you.
Yeah.
Don't, because people get offended. He said, even if you go out and eat, or you go to someone's house and you don't eat their food, you just tell them that, you ate first and you're not hungry or you're allergic to something. And he says,
Mm-hmm.
because people get upset with you. And I have experienced that. So
Mm-hmm.
I
But
tell my family, they say, um, here comes Aunt Rita. That's what the kids say. Here comes Aunt Rita. Um, or here comes Rita. They don't want to, they don't want to hear all that. But I'm gonna tell them anyway because I feel like if I don't tell you and you get sick and you have a problem and I could have helped you, then you can never say I didn't share my knowledge.
yeah.
So now they say, we listen to you. We listen to you. We just not disciplined like you are. So I don't know if that's it, but I felt like I had to take care of myself and I had to ask the questions to take care of my body. That's
Mm.
why I said my thing was, um, I am investing in my health and wellness,
Yeah.
because I want to ask the right questions. I don't know everything, but I want to know what I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was teaching at this particular college, I went and I tell people this in my private lectures as well. I, t- I would say to people, you spend more money on your car, males, and on your shoes and hair, females.
That's right.
And I said, you look cute and pretty in a coffin because those things that you're spending your money on have no value.
Hmm.
They
Right.
go out of style, but your body is with you for the rest of your life. And if you don't invest in it, it's going to break down.
That's right.
And you have to pay attention to it. So I've said to people, I said, look, and I did the math. I said, you're spending all this money at these fast food places, and you say you don't have enough money, some of them for a car. I did the math back in the day. I said, if you spend $5 for breakfast, five for lunch, and five for dinner, that's $15. Okay.
Hmm.
15 times five is what? $75.
Hmm.
So let's just round it up. 80 times four is 320, rounding it up. And 320 times 10 is 3,200. And then you put the extra two on it. 2 months. They're like, wow. I said, this is your car payment. And you don't have any stocks in these companies. So they're killing you. You have nothing to gain from
Right.
it. And so does it make good sense? And when I broke it down to them like that, they're like, oh wow. I said, you could take that same $15 to $75 a week, buy some groceries,
Mm-hmm.
have a meal for the entire week. And what people were telling people, oh, it's too expensive to be a
Right.
vegetarian. I
I
said,
got that too.
that doesn't even make sense. The most expensive thing in your cart is meat. They're like, yeah, that's true. I said, your logic doesn't even make sense. I said, it doesn't even make sense
Right,
because the
right,
meat is the thing that's costing you the most. Like, oh yeah. And I said, it's the thing that's killing you. So,
right.
yeah, I would just break it down and tell them, I said, look, what's the first thing the doctors take you off before surgery? Meat. What's the last thing that they allow you to eat after surgery? Meat. So that should tell you something
Mm-hmm.
because your body can't process it.
Right.
So why do you think that it's so? And then the last thing I would tell them, most people with money who are millionaires and more, who can buy a whole hog or an entire cow, are vegetarians. Why do
Mm.
you think that they don't eat the meat?
Right.
They can buy the whole farm, but,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't eat it.
Right.
See, I break it down to them like, let's do the economics. And you say that you want to be uh, wealthy and whatever. You don't have the pattern. They don't eat what you eat.
Right.
And they can
Right.
afford to eat, they can afford to buy all the fast food restaurants, and they don't go near them.
Right.
Now,
Right.
oh, but I think with your journey, and the thing about you, Rita, which is really amazing, first of all, you don't look 72.
Oh,
And the second thing
thank
is
you so
that
much.
no, you
I
don't,
love
you don't,
it.
you don't. And the second thing is that um, you practice what you preach. See, some people, like I said, people can come to my house any day of the week and look in my refrigerator, they won't see any animal product. I have three
Me either.
fur babies, and the only animal product is in a can called cat food for them. But
Mm-hmm.
nothing goes into my meat.
Right.
you know. So even in terms of pharmaceuticals, any of that, the only thing I tell people that I have is Benadryl, and that's because if I eat something and I don't know what's in it and it closes up my throat, the
Yeah.
Benadryl has saved my life. So I will
Mm-hmm.
always keep that because if you go to the hospital uh, in shock, they're just going to give you a shot of Benadryl and charge you 200 for it. So I just keep it in my cabinet.
It costs that much? Ooh.
Probably, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I might be exaggerating a little, but yeah, you
Well, I
guys
worked in the
know.
hospital and during that time, I mean, one pill was costing $2.
Mm.
Even this was back in the 80s.
Oh no,
One
it's far
pill was
more.
costing $2. And I'm like, no, that's not where I want to go. But
Hmm.
and
And
Dr. Gosh used to say to me, you either pay now or you pay later. Which one do you want to do?
that's what
And
I've told
I
people
don't
too.
want to pay. I
That's what
don't
I,
want to pay now. I mean, and I don't even want to pay later.
yeah,
but but
yeah,
I don't want. I want to be well,
yeah.
and I don't have any children, and I don't want to go into a nursing home because I saw my mom and my dad go in nursing homes, and they don't even treat you right there. You don't
Oh,
get
no,
sunshine. They
no,
leave you in these beds, and sometimes they don't take care of you well. I don't
yeah,
want to go out like that. I
yeah,
want to be, when it's time for me to go, I can say, okay, I'm ready to go.
yeah.
And that's it,
That's the same for
So
me. I said, let me just lay my head on the pillow and check
Uh-huh.
out. No nursing home, no hospice.
Right.
Check out, and that's it.
Hmm.
That's
That's
it.
me.
Yeah. So, Rita, how can people get in touch with you just for consultation? Do you do consultations? What what would you like people to know in terms of getting in touch
Well,
with you, or you just like to give general information?
they can reach me on my phone at and you have that, right?
Yes,
Um,
well, you can give it to them.
should I say it?
Yeah,
Um,
if you feel
okay.
comfortable.
Okay. I my phone number is 678-358-4803. If I don't answer because I don't have your you in my contact list, please leave a message and then I'll call you right back. Um, or you can reach me at RNIMM70662 at AOL.com.
Repeat that.
Repeat it.
Yes.
RNIMM 70662 at AOL.com.
Okay. Okay.
And
And
again,
so,
my phone number is 678-358-4803.
so are you giving workshops or
I
private
will.
consultations?
I will. I'm doing a presentation on May 2nd with a sister organization on sharing my journey and hoping that it will touch someone else and inspire because I believe that's what I'm here for to do
Mhm.
is to inspire.
Mhm.
Um, and if I don't know it, I will certainly find out and I will, you know, will let whoever comes to me, I will update them on whatever it is I don't know.
Mhm.
Because I do a lot of studying and I go to lectures and I listen to, I'm a big YouTube family
Mhm.
person and I listen to some of the things. Some of the things make sense, some doesn't, um, but like I said, I don't know everything, so that's
Mhm.
why I have a mind and a brain that if I don't know it, I'll find out. And
Mhm.
my I have a saying called um what I call the pyramid of life, and it's mind, body, and spirit.
Yeah.
And I think that if you can balance that, you can live a healthy life, you know.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, I
yeah,
believe in that too. I
yeah,
think sometimes people think it's one or the other. And I've
yeah.
told people there have been people who have been vegetarian or vegan who have had,
Health issues.
yeah, and who, excuse me, who have contracted cancer.
Yeah,
So I've told people if if you have toxic thoughts, you are making the body acidic. So you can have the perfect diet, but the food cannot be absorbed properly
right.
because of acidic thoughts, and it makes everything in your body acidic.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not one or the other. It's like what you said, the
It's like
pyramid.
that triangle.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and it's a combination of
Yes,
all three,
yeah.
and being and having them be in alignment with the creator of the universe.
Mm-hmm.
I so believe in it. Well, Rita, I think we have almost come to
Okay.
the end. What would you like to leave our listening audience with? The message.
Well, I would say, um, be kind to yourself. Watch what you say to yourself.
Yeah,
Don't put anything in your body or on your body that is toxic.
yeah,
Find out, read, educate yourself. Don't just depend on someone else to tell you who you are what's going to work for you. You have to listen to yourself and you
Yes.
have to know yourself. And that takes time, and it means you might have to sit back and just be silent, you know, because we have so much stuff going on in our heads all the time, and we try to get distracted by TV or social media, and we just need to just sit back and relax. Things will work its way out. I
Mhm.
always believe that, and I've experienced that. So that's what I would tell most people. Just be kind and be patient and be
Yeah.
grateful.
Yeah. Being being grateful is so
Mm-hmm.
important. And like you said, self-care is very, very important as
Yes,
well. Because I think sometimes, particularly as women, we tend to overlook ourselves to make things better for those outside of ourselves. And I said, well, if you get sick or something happens to you, the whole house caves in.
that's
So
right.
make sure that you take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
So and take care of because you're the only person that you're going to have throughout your life. So you
Right.
take care of you,
That's
and
right.
then you'll be in a better place to take care of others because you can't really give from an empty cup. And
Yeah.
and women are constantly trying to give from an empty cup and they're depleted.
Right.
Yeah, take care of your health and
Mm-hmm.
become more holistic and
Yes.
start thinking about they have containers now where you can have a garden on your patio, a garden on your deck, a garden inside your
Yes.
house.
That's what I'm doing. That's what
Yeah,
I'm doing right now. Getting my garden together and I
yeah,
also cleanse. I still cleanse. I fast. You got to do that.
yeah,
It's not that hard. It really
yeah.
is.
It's a mindset because
That's
I'm
it.
coming off a fast now. I did the master cleanse.
Right.
So,
And that's probably why you're having some of, the coughing and that, because that's a form of detoxification too. That's what I've
oh yeah,
found. Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the phlegm that's coming up. Oh yeah, and
And
very.
that's a good thing.
Oh yeah. Some
Yeah.
people try to use cough suppressants and whatever. I'm
Yeah.
like, so you have two things going on. You still have the virus, and then you have a toxin on top of the virus
Right.
because it hasn't gone anywhere. You just suppressed it.
That's
Cough
right.
suppressant means you're suppressing the cough, but it
That's
hasn't
right.
gone anywhere.
That's right. Florence
Environment,
used to say, it's better coming out than staying in.
yeah,
And, you know, so I'm glad. Yeah, I really stress the cleansing part as well because, you know, like you were saying at first, you treat your car better than you treat yourself. You'll get an oil change,
yeah,
you know, so you need to cleanse and don't be afraid to go to the bathroom because
yes,
it's better coming out than staying in. So,
definitely.
hmm
But Rita, thank you so very
and
much.
thank you so much.
We appreciate you, your wisdom, and everyone. If you would like to get more information and talk with Rita, she's giving you her contact information, and feel free to get in touch with her via her email, probably first, and then call her if you would like. So
Yes.
thank you for joining us, everyone, and until next time, every Sunday, Gray Lives on the Rise from 7 until 8 p.m. And
Yes.
yes, Rita and I are twinning.
Yes.
We are twinning.
That's right.
So definitely, definitely go to the website oyendeenterprises.com and look up the products and order and tell your friends about it. This is the
Right.
best thing out there for those who are 50 plus. So
That's
until
right.
next time, beloveds, stay well,
Namaste.
stay conscious, and namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Gray Lives on the Rise, being brought to you by Jamila Sense, which is the product line of Oyende Enterprises. Jamila Sense is a 100% natural aromatherapy line that heals the mind, body, and soul. This episode of Great Lives on the Rise was intended to uplift you, to inspire you, and to motivate you. Please tell all of your friends, family members, and anyone you know who's 50 plus, who's living a vibrant life and interested in doing more and enjoying life even to its fullest. So thank you, and please subscribe, like, and comment on this video and all our videos. Thank you, and until next time, until our next podcast, namaste and be well.